What is popping, y'all? It's your boy D-Mark, aka D-Ron. So then I'm back with another video. So, we're going to be checking out, Stone Cold talks about Owen Hart getting injured. Owen Hart injuring Stone Cold in their match in 1997 at SummerSlam and the death of Owen Hart in 1999. And, yeah, rest in peace to Owen Hart. I feel like the moment that Owen Hart died, it was during the Over the Edge pay-per-view. I forgot who he was fighting with, but he was like the Blue Blazer. And I remember him dropping like 12 feet above the ring, and I feel like they had to cancel the show. But with Vince and everything that was going on, with the documentary that's out right now, it's on Netflix, and I don't have Netflix, but I am going to watch it once I purchase Netflix again. But we're going to check this video out, and before we get into that, if you have not already yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. I will be posting every single week. So, let's get straight into this.
My match with Owen was set for SummerSlam 1997 on August 3rd, 1997.
Yeah.
Meadowlands Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. By then, Stone Cold was really catching fire with the fans. I was told that I was going to win the Intercontinental title belt back from Owen on that night. The stipulation to my challenge was that if I couldn't beat him and win, I was going to have to kiss his ass. I really built that up on TV as a major deal. There was another simple, easy to understand storyline. So a day came and I was talking to Owen in the back, and we were throwing a few things together for the finish of the title match. I said to him, well, what if we do that thing where I come in for the elbow and you rotate your back around and pick me up upside down and get to the tombstone pile driver? Then you come and beat up and kick out right before the finish.
Oh, yeah. I remember Stone Cold reminding this in the documentary I watched. It was like a biographic. He talks about this story right here, about Owen Hart breaking his neck when he does the move of The Undertaker. But it's like a similar version of The Undertaker, the Tombstone Power Driver. But, my God, like, when he hit his head, like, on the mat, and Stone Cold is just like, laid out, like, I can tell, like, there was something wrong here. But my God, bro, like, I remember him saying this in a biographic, the same way he's going to say it here, so.
I had it. Now, Owen, I don't trust just anybody to do a pile driver to me, but you can do it, right? And he said, yeah. I said, you're going to go to your knees, right? And he said, no, I'm going to drop to my ass. Then I said,
what?
Well, you need to go to your knees, right? And he said, no, I dropped to my ass. That's 2 times I said that, and I was thinking, I'm dealing with Owen Hart, brother of Bret Hart, son of Stu Hart. I guess he knows what he's doing. He's ripping me about dropping to his ass instead of his knees. Owen was a hell of a technician. When he assured me I'd be okay, I took his word that I'd be okay. I didn't think twice about it. I'd mentioned my concerns to him twice, but in an inverted tombstone pile driver, done the way Undertaker does, it's always going to the knees, not the ass.
Yeah.
So I figured,
when the Undertaker does the power driver, he always does it with the knees.
When I came out that night, boy, people were ready to see Stone Cold Steve Austin do the Stone Cold Stunner on Owen for the title belt. The match went along, and it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a very great match, though. A very good match.
There were going through some things near the end that could be finishes, but they weren't. The crowd was really into all the false finishes. Eventually, we set up the pile driver spot. I spun Owen around and he landed on his feet. Then he picked me up, upside down, and dropped straight to his ass. There was simply no room for me to protect my head.
No. And honestly, if you're in like a power driver position where you're like upside down, like you got like nowhere where your head can be protected, because your head is like hitting on the mat So it is kind of dangerous for somebody to just drop on their necks, like so in a crazy way. Because I've been seeing like wrestlers just be drop on their neck, and I get a bit cringe. Like when I see it, it's like oh man, like oh, it's like people just drop on their necks. Like it's just make me cringe. Like when I see people just being dropped on their necks or being like when they're trying to do a move, like it doesn't like connect the halfway. But man, but when I see wrestlers just being dropped on their neck, like it just clearly just makes me cringe right there.
50, he weighed 225 or thereabouts at the time. But with the jump up and the impact down, man, I got spiked head first into the mat hard as hell.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's going to turn you into a quadriplegic quicker than anything. It's called actual load. It's not a whiplash thing, but a major impact blow to the spinal cord. Boom. I remember kind of picking my head up from the mat and telling the referee, Earl Hebner, tell him not to fucking touch me, I can't move.
Oh,
Earl
really?
told Owen, don't touch him, he can't move. I said, tell him to buy me some time. Earl told him that. So Owen started chanting to the crowd, now he's going to have to kiss my ass. He was by me the time I needed to recover. A minute or a minute and a half went by, and I finally started getting a little bit of feeling back in my limbs. My shoulders and my anterior delts were on fire. It took everything I had to bend my legs and try to get to a crawl position, but I couldn't crawl on my hands because I couldn't use my hands yet. Still, we had to get to the finish, and I had to win. So I was crawling around on my elbows, and I told the referee, roll up for the win. He told Owen what I'd called, and the next thing that happened was I did the worst looking roll up in wrestling history because I couldn't use my limbs.
Yeah.
Somehow I managed to hold Owen on his back and get a 3
That
count.
was a weird roll
I
up.
meant for that to be the end of it, but Owen kicked right out after 3. Why? To make himself look strong like he was barely beat. That kick out hurt me like hell too, and could easily have injured my neck further. I should have lain there and gotten medical attention, but it didn't happen that way. It was one of those deals where it was a highly anticipated match. There were a lot of 316 shirts out there that night, a whole lot of Stone Cold fans. All the referees came out to the ring, and it took 3 of them to pull me to my feet. I got my arms around them, and they tried to hold me up and hand me the title belt, but my legs were dragging and I could barely walk.
Yeah.
I got to the
Yeah,
back
he
and I was
couldn't
visibly
walk.
shaking.
He gotta have referees and officials to help him
As it got me
get
off
him
the
out of the
stretcher, I just
ring.
wanted to know what the hell had happened. They took me to the hospital for x-rays and I was released. I bought myself a 12-pack of beer, laid in bed at the hotel, and finally went to sleep.
Oh man, it's
Despite
always the
everything, I got up the
beer.
next day and drove to Bethlehem.
The beer always got Coke Stone Cold.
Because I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. My delts were burning like crazy and I couldn't wrestle, but I went and covered my ass on TV. Here's what I said to Owen Hart the next night on Raw is War. Owen Hart, I'm not going to listen to the doctors. I'm not going to wear this piece of crap they gave me, this stupid neck brace. The fact that you dropped me on my head don't mean a damn thing to me. The fact of the matter was, you were too stupid to cover me when you had the chance. The bottom line is, you're a loser, Owen Hart. Not because I say you are, but because it runs through your veins, because your mom and dad gave that to you, and I can't do nothing about that. Tonight I truly will open up a can of whoop ass and show you exactly what Austin 316 means. And that's the bottom line.
Stone Cold said so.
Next few days I went and got a bunch of doctor's reports. Every doctor I went to said to get out of wrestling. The muscles in my hand were starting to atrophy, and my legs were becoming hyper-reflexive and jumpy. And muscles would start pulsing in my back.
Oh
The medical name for my
wow.
condition was central cord compression. But I was told that I could get some relief from surgery, so I set out to find a doctor who could do it. Then I met Dr. Lloyd Youngblood.
Yeah, man. Like if you're having some weird tingling in your body, that's still like if you're like having symptoms that like the weakness in your body. Because I remember like watching a video of a rapper named, I don't know if y'all heard this person's name before. He was a rapper. His name is Static Major. So I read his story about how he died, right, in the hospital. And he was like diagnosed with myasthenia gravis. So the definition of myasthenia gravis is that I'm finna look this up. Let me see. Matter of fact, hold up. I gotta get my phone. Hold up. I'm trying to find the definition of it. Hold up. I'm going to look this up very quickly. What is the definition of myasthenia gravis? So myasthenia gravis is a condoned autoimmune disease that causes weakness in the body, vertebral muscles. So here it is right here.
Myasthenia.
So what it mostly is that it's going to cause weakness in any body from like heavy breathing, like shortness of breath, and like a pair of speech from the hands, feet, arms, legs, and neck. So that's the definition of myasthenia gravis. Well, not the definition, but I told like some sorts about it. So yeah, I feel like when you start having tingling in your body, I feel like you got to go to the doctor or the hospital. And I'm glad that he that Stone Cold went to the hospital and got checked. So yeah.
He's a neurosurgeon, the best of the best. I didn't have an appointment, but he spent 3 hours with me discussing my problem in language I could understand. So I got the big operation in 1999, a full 2 years after the pile driver. It was 2 years of nagging pain. At that point, I didn't know if I was going to be able to come back or not. I had no idea if I was ever going to get back in the ring. If I had to venture a guess, I would have guessed that my wrestling career was over.
After Steve had his neck surgery in San Antonio with Dr. Youngblood, I put down
Yeah, man. It's like one injury can like shorten your career, or mostly you will just never retire, or like never wrestle again after the heinous that was like taken on your body that you've been wrestling for so long, and like wrestlers will just take for like decades. They will just take pills, painkillers to ease the pain up. Like Kurt Angle, for example, this is like the one thing I did not know about Kurt Angle during his wrestling career. Like when he was in pain, like Kurt Angle, he is a wrestling machine. A wrestling machine that he wanted to keep going and not stop. Throwing bodies across the ring, doing everything. But the one thing I did not know about Kurt was all these neck surgeries that he's been having to deal with for the last several years of his wrestling career. Kurt was he was out of control. Like he was off the chain. The dude took like it's like anytime ever like a wrestler finished a match, they had to take pills like to ease the pain up in their bodies. Kurt, almost like every day, he has to take 65 Vicodin pills a day, which is like every single day because he's wrestling. Like wrestlers are on the road almost like 100 days a year, and sometimes they don't even take days off. So I respect each and every wrestlers from every promotion that wants to put their lives on the line, their bodies on the line just to entertain us. But it has to come with the fact that they have families. They have families and kids they got to take care of at the end of the day. So honestly, I respect every wrestler that, like I said, that's taking a toll on their bodies, like, want to put their lives on the line for entertainment and all. But it all comes down to, like how long do you want to keep doing this? And sometimes, like, wrestlers sometimes, they feel like they want to keep going, but at the same time, they feel like when you get to a certain point of your age, like get to your mid 40s or your begin 50s, your body is gonna slow down each time you wrestle. So, like people like Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho, it's amazed me that those guys are still able to wrestle, still wrestling. Like it's a miracle that they are still in like their 50s and they're still like wrestling, and that's crazy to me to see that because a lot of some wrestlers don't even wrestle the age that they're in. They mostly retire or they want to still go wrestle. But like I said, like some of these wrestlers definitely got families. They got feed, you know, to have money and put a roof over them. So yeah.
To see him in the hospital. I think when I got there, Steve had been able to get a night's sleep, and when I walked in, he was sitting up in bed eating ice cream. I told him I thought only kids who had their tonsils removed got ice cream in the hospital, but he said he had connections. Boy, did he. You would have thought that it was Elvis or John Wayne himself in the hospital there in Texas, because all the nurses and other personnel were just great and truly felt it was an honor to attend to their homegrown wrestling star. Steve always has been able to connect with his audience, and he had already won all the nurses over in the short time he had been hospitalized. There were a bunch of Austin 316 fans working in that hospital, let me tell you. He was in amazingly good spirits because many of the horrible symptoms that he had been experiencing with his neck injury were gone.
Yeah.
He had found some significant relief, even though he still had some numbness in his hand and fingers. But Steve knew, and I knew, that he would have to address his wrestling career sooner than later. If Deborah had not been there, we probably would have talked about it, but we didn't. That was probably a smart thing, but I could tell by the look in his eyes that he had unfinished business to attend to. The thing was, neither of us knew when it would happen.
Anyway, I had the surgery and it went fine. I got level 3 and 4 fused together. It took close to a year, but Dr. Youngblood finally gave me the clearance to get back in the ring. Owen Hart called me after he pile drove me and injured me. I heard that his brother Brett kept telling him to call me, but we never connected. Did I hate Owen? No, that's just a business and we weren't really friends to start with. Did I want to work with him after that? No, I didn't. I didn't want to do business with him again. Right or wrong, that's how I felt. Sometimes I wonder how it could have happened. As good a technical wrestler as Owen was, he should have known that he needed to drop to his knees, not his ass, to protect my neck. When he didn't call me at my house afterwards, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. It was like, hey, if I damn near paralyzed someone, I'd be calling him every damn day of the week. The WWE merchandise department came out with a t-shirt that said Owen 316, and on the back it said, I just broke your neck. I thought that was pretty damn cheesy. If I was going to get any of the royalties off that one, maybe I would have liked it better. But if he's going to put the money in his pocket for messing my life up, I wasn't real fond of that. Anyway, it was just one of those things, and I'm still paying for it now. That's the way it goes in the wrestling business.
Yeah.
It ain't ballet. Things happen, and that time it happened to me. But I ain't going to sit here and cry about it. I just deal with it every single day, and I will continue to deal with it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Owen had a freak accident on May 23rd, 1999, when he accidentally fell over 40 feet from an overhead catwalk to the ring and died immediately from the fall. No one deserves to die like that.
No, they
I
don't.
was mad and I felt sad for Owen's family.
It was sad. That was really sad the way he went down.
Owen Hart died.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was surprised that they were even doing a tombstone pile driver, because no one does it better than The Undertaker.
Right. No one does it better than The Undertaker do.
Wrestlers usually don't, or shouldn't, use other talents' finishing moves for their own high spots. But that's another story for another time. My take on this incident was this. Owen was a good person and a hell of a wrestler. He was born into wrestling royalty in my eyes as the youngest son of the legendary tough guy and longtime promoter Stu Hart. I always felt that Owen may have thought that he had let his family down, specifically his dad and older brother Brett, with a poorly executed maneuver. It would be like the son of Michael Jordan being cut from his basketball team. was so taken aback by what happened that he never cleared the air with Steve. I will guarantee you one thing. Owen cared, and I know he felt bad about what happened because we used to discuss it often. When Steve was out of commission because of the neck injury, Owen used to ask me about Steve all the time. I would say to him, "Why don't you call him?" Owen's response was always along the lines of, "I'm going to," or "I will, I just feel so bad about what I did." Steve and Owen never had the conversation they needed to have, the conversation both men felt in their hearts before Owen's untimely death. It's one face-to-face meeting I wish I could have orchestrated.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. After, because I did not know that Owen was planning on doing a power driver on Steve. Because I know at that time, like, nowadays, people can definitely use other wrestling moves today. But it gotta be like the extent of why you use other person's wrestling move. If it's like part of a storyline, fine, but it can't just be like something just random, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but Owen Hart, man, like I said, like it's very sad that, his life had to end the way it did at the Over the Edge pay-per-view, and I'm pretty sure, that his family was like very, very devastated the way he ended his life like that. I feel like, to me, what WWE should have done, in my opinion, was just to cancel the show altogether. There's no reason to just continue the show because the show needs to go on. Somebody literally just died on live TV. The people that's watching at home, the people that came to the attendance that saw this and witnessed it, and it's like, I feel like there was mind blowing of what they saw in their eyes, of what happened to Owen Hart the night that he just died. And, rest in peace to Owen Hart, man. He definitely is a great wrestler. And I don't know in the near future if WWE will, put Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame or not, because Bret Hart had his issues with WWE at one point, but I'm pretty sure they probably worked things out in several years ago. But he did make Bret Hart did make an appearance though on Raw a couple months ago in Canada, in his own country. So they definitely probably work things out. But yeah, man. And Steve, though, if his wrestling career did not go on, having so much injury throughout his career, there will never be a Stone Cold. What I mean is by Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the greatest influential superstars of all time, if he did not fall and drop on his neck, which it could have left him paralyzed if his neck was seriously damaged. But I'm thankful that Steve is still alive today. He still got injuries and medical bills that he still got to go through with over the last few years, that that he had to have surgery and all of that. I'm glad that he's getting himself recover from all those years that he's been injured, because he's been taking a lot of bumps and everything. And Steve is definitely one of the greatest. Not the one of the greatest, but yeah, man. But rest in peace to Owen Hart, man. And yeah, that was a sad thing to see. Imagine it if somebody did the same thing what Owen Hart just did in today's world of wrestling. Nobody will have ever see something like this and they go to a wrestling show and somebody just dies, just like fell like 10 or 20 feet up in the air and just drops near their death. Like, that would be just be crazy to see. And yeah, man, that would be crazy. But man, I was just watching a documentary about Owen, about how he died. Now, here's something, I don't know if that's true, of how he was like up to the Raptors or something on a stairwell, and I don't know if like somebody like pushed him, because he was hooked to a harness, and I don't know if this is true, like if like somebody like pushed him like 20 feet down, which I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if any of that is true or not. But yeah, man, yeah, that's it for this video. Y'all let me know what your thoughts about this, about Owen Hart's death, and follow me all social medias down below. I'll be back with another video. Peace.
My moment to shine, this is my type of flight. I've been grinding forever just for this very night. I've been pushing for many moments like this. This time it's undervalued and no one ever could.